Good morning, y'all. It's 4:55 a.m. and 60.4 degrees on day 112. I'm at Story something shelter. Story Spring shelter. I'm gonna wake up, make my way towards Manchester Center. All right, folks. 6:10 a.m. and 53.8 degrees. Just leaving the Story Spring shelter. And I just started hearing Yak and Whisper waking up, so I'm not sure whether they're breakfast and coffee people or just kind of get on the trail people. Not sure if they wake up fast or slow, but either way, I'm done. I'm done with breakfast and coffee, and I'm awake, so I'm getting on trail. Today, I think I said yesterday, today's going to be a 21-mile day to get into Manchester Center. Which just doesn't sound like the name of a city to me. It sounds like a part of Manchester, and I got a buddy who lives in Manchester, England, so it's all very weird. Manchester Center. I kind of feel like I want to say Manchester City, like after the football club, but whatever. Yeah, we'll be getting into Manchester Center later on today and meeting up with Jason, which ought to be great. Hopefully getting some good dinner. Slept like a champ last night, man. So right before I cut off yesterday, I was talking about how I thought I found a good spot to pitch my tent. And then I remembered that there was thunderstorms coming in, so I wasn't going to pitch there. Well, I wound up not pitching there after all, but I spoke to Yak and Whisper about it, and they're like, no, man, it's not going to rain tonight. Like, no. So I pulled up weather, and sure enough, the forecast changed. There was no rain in the forecast. But all the same, I just found, basically, there's all sorts of compromises when you pitch a tent. Like, in a dream world, you have flat, smooth ground. Oftentimes, flat, smooth ground also means mud. If it rains, it means you can get, not like abjectly flooded out necessarily, but you can be kind of like sleeping in a soup, which isn't good. Yeah, so basically I compromised the flat ground aspect of things and slept a little bit off axis on just a bit of a slope. And it wasn't particularly rooty or rocky or anything. There wasn't really a whole lot of lumps, but even though there was no rain in the forecast, just something in my head was like, no man, now you've thought rain, now you have to prepare at least a little for rain. So I didn't sleep in like the most rainproof thing ever, but definitely a step up from where I decided not to camp. So yeah, kind of went for the porridge that was right in the middle instead of the one that was too hot or the one that was too cold. So that's kind of what we did. Either way, didn't rain, slept like a champ. It did cool down. I don't know if I said, but it's 50, I think it was like 53.8 degrees, which is super comfortable right now. It was definitely comfortable last night. I like cool weather for sleeping. Yeah, not supposed to get brutal today, which is fantastic. I think I saw a high of 71. That'd be lovely. Lovely, lovely. Yeah, so far Vermont's going good. I'm gonna go ahead and get to hiking, and I'll check back with y'all a little later on. We got one huge climb coming up to get up to a really cool fire tower. And then we get down off of that huge climb and just kind of continue a gradual downhill ramble for the rest of the day, so that ought to be fun. But yeah, I'll check in with you later. Talk to you then. Hey folks, it is 9:13 right now. I've been at the Stratton Mountain Fire Tower kind of orienting myself for about 15 minutes. The view up here is absolutely incredible. I am going to talk a little bit about what we're seeing, but for the actual video for that, I'm going to move down a level. This is actually maybe the first fire tower I've seen on the whole AT where all of the windows are intact, which is nice because it's blocking the wind, but you know, these windows, the window washers don't come around too often. So what I wanted to show you is looking down to the south, you'll see a big old lake. I'm not sure of the name of that lake. I didn't really look at that. And then way back beyond the lake, well, maybe just one way beyond the lake, you'll see some windmills. And off to the right is one big mountain that kind of slopes away rather abruptly to the left, and then kind of rambles, flattens out, and then comes down gently to the right. That is Mount Greylock. That's the highest point in Massachusetts. That's where I was telling you about how Herman Melville got his inspiration for Moby Dick. So that's pretty neat to see that. And that was only, whatever, a few days ago. It feels like that we were there. So that's definitely pretty neat to see. As we follow this ridge in a little bit closer, moving just in that was pretty almost due south. As we move in a slightly westerly direction, we'll see this highest point kind of in the foreground. That highest point is Mount Glastonbury, where we were, I think just yesterday we were there. Yeah, which is definitely pretty neat to see that as well. That's where we've come from. I'm going to swing all the way around now. Someplace off in this direction, which is to the west, is Albany. But I think I can't quite make it out between the haze and everything else. Somewhere out there is Albany. As we keep swinging to the west, and now in a slightly northwesty direction, we'll see this low range off there, and that low range is what's obscuring our vision to Manchester City, where I'll be this evening. And if you see all those scarred up slopes back on that mountain, that is Mount Bromley. That's where we'll be summiting pretty much first thing tomorrow morning with Jason, so that's pretty neat. And as we keep swinging around to the north and then to the northeast, we start to get into New Hampshire. And I can't really tell you what's what out there, but you know, we'll find that out in the next week or so for sure. I'm pretty excited about it. So yeah, New Hampshire out that way, definitely pretty neat to see. So that's the fire tower. I'm gonna go ahead and have a snack and kind of hang out here because it is a absolutely beautiful day. So happy to be on the trail today, having a ton of fun today, and yeah, this is a great place to take a break. So that's what I'll do. All right, folks. It's 10:09 a.m., 61.9 degrees. Just an absolutely amazing day. Just a beautiful day for hiking. It's nice and dry. There wasn't even like the tiniest bit of humidity or condensation or anything in my tent this morning. Sleeping bag was bone dry. Man. And I just decided to spend an hour up at the top of that tower, up at the top of that fire tower. I wasn't planning on doing my weekly health update this early in the day. I like to do it generally later in the day, but just like yesterday, the descent off the tower is just beautiful. Beautiful. Look at it. I mean, everything is like lush and green and mossy and spruce and just absolutely beautiful. So I know we did that 10-minute bonus on yesterday's video, if you were curious, just to walk along in the quiet, but for those of you who made what might have been a rational decision just to skip it, here's a peek at what it looked like, I guess, on the health update. So again, anyways, day 112. Today is a multiple of 7. Time for a weekly health update, and luckily it's a good one again, so that's nice. So the hip issue I complained about 2 weeks ago or something like that was kind of nagging me, I don't think it surfaced once this past week, which is great. Really good. So hopefully I was just sleeping wrong or stepping wrong or doing something wrong, and that seems to have subsided. Also, I think I mentioned in last week's video that I had some kind of I wonder where that water is. If it's that way, I guess it's that way. I mentioned that I had some sort of like cut or open wound on my right foot from when I had pulled off some leukotape after a few days of rain. And I was pretty concerned about that because the foot can be a problem. any sort of cut or open injury on your foot can be a problem. You know what, let me come right back. I'm gonna get some water here, and I'm gonna come right back to continue the health update. All right, just drank a liter and filled another liter, so I'm carrying out 2 liters per usual. But yeah, I was just talking about the foot, about those kind of wounds on the bottom of my right foot. So I got to Maureen and Bowen's place, and took that shower, and I was definitely curious to see what the foot was looking like. And it looks great. It looked really, really good, which I was super thrilled about. You know, I tend to be pretty diligent about trying to heal cuts and wounds and injuries and stuff like that. Especially something like a foot, which can pretty easily get pretty gnarly and pretty infected. So I was super thrilled that the polysporine and gauze and more leukotape kind of let it catch up and heal up good. So honestly, when I left Maureen and Bowen's, I didn't even recover it, because it looked like, you know, new skin was growing already, and I felt pretty good about that. Honestly, at that point, probably better just to leave it uncovered if it looks like it's not something that's going to get infected. So that's what I did. That was great. So now it's I think you can still tell there was a bit of an injury there, but it's totally fine, totally healed, and that's great. So I'll do that again. Yeah, aside from that, let's see. I was also complaining, I think last week or something, about mentioning that my head and neck was getting better after bumping it on the bottom of a log. That again, I think at this point I probably won't even report on it next week, because it just hasn't been a problem. It just hasn't been a problem all week, so that's great. One thing I will say, it's been a bit of a bummer this week. I mean, not a huge bummer at all, but just a bit of a bummer has been my right ankle again. Is just kind of barking a little from time to time. Just kind of feels like it kind of gets like, I don't know what, like puffy or inflamed, or just a littlest bit aggravated. It just feels tired. I don't really know how to explain it. It just kind of feels tired. So yesterday I wore an ace bandage. I wrapped it all up for the first half of the day, and then took it off the second half of the day. I find like the ace bandage definitely helps a lot to keep it kind of braced and supported, and also keep it from kind of swelling up a little bit. But I can feel when I wear the ace bandage, like I can feel, even way back when I wrap it only around my ankle, I feel all my bones in my feet kind of like compressing and being squished, which I don't like. So that's why I wound up taking it off halfway through the day. So the ace bandage kind of cuts both ways. On one hand, it's really great because it immobilizes the ankle and gives it some support. But on the other hand, it's just really, it's uncomfortable for the foot and the bones in the foot. So, I mean, I'm sure I'm wearing it wrong. I'm probably wearing it too tight or whatever. I don't know. But, so I think today I'm not even wearing it. But I think, I'll kind of wear it as it's aggravating me. And then probably, again, just kind of continue with that. Probably only wear it the first half of the day kind of thing. That seemed to work. Aside from those things, head good, eyes good, gut good, feet good, hands good. These blisters are still doing their thing for me. Although I will say about the blisters, I got new straps coming in a week or so. I got a whole heck of a resupply box. This isn't really so much a health thing, so much as a gear update at this point. But these shoes that I got on right now are shoes I've had since mile 1200 or so. And these are the ones that, like, there was a couple flaps that just started flapping off, so I got Topo to send me another pair off to my parents' house. So I got these shoes at mile 1200. Ooh. And now I'm at mile, 1650 or something, I don't know. Something like that. So even though they started dying early, they still rode for me. I mean, that's still 400 miles we put into them, which is starting to get to a more, you know, decent lifespan. Oops. And I'm gonna ask if to go another 100 miles or so before I receive my replacement. But yeah, my dad's mailing out a box with new shoes and Black Diamond. They're mailing me another set of straps for my trekking pole. My parents had sent me a replacement pair of straps that were the wrong straps. I had called Black Diamond, so I'm somewhat aggravated about that. I had called Black Diamond to discuss which straps go with these poles, and they were like, yep, these are the straps. So they mailed them out, and it was the wrong straps. It was totally the wrong straps. So anyways, so in another few days I'll have new shoes, I'll have new straps, and a whole bunch of other goodies coming to me. As soon as I get into New Hampshire, I'm planning on that. So that'll be about a week from today. In fact, I think a week from today I'm planning on taking a zero at that place in New Hampshire, because it'll be kind of like a last stop before we get into the whites. So that'll be pretty cool. But yeah, so these blisters, hopefully these blisters will hold up with the new straps. Remember last time I exchanged poles and therefore straps, I kind of re-aggravated my hands. So we'll see whether the calluses are good enough to hold up to new straps this time around. Gear wise, found a tiny little hole in my CNOC water bag, which isn't great, but it's like, I mean, probably like the width of a thin hair, you know. It's really, really small. So if I get time tonight, I'd love to try and patch it up, but it's far from terminal at this point. So if I don't get an opportunity, I think that bag will continue functioning just fine. Yeah, so that's health, that's gear. These shoes are failing, but they should have another 100 miles in them. That's shoes, that's gear, and that's it for the health update. So we'll get back to hiking, and I'll talk to you all a little later. Bye. Hey y'all, it's 2:42 and 67.4 degrees. Just a little unexpected stop. I'm over here at the Spruce Peak Shelter, built in 1984 by the Battleboro, I don't know, section of the GMC, a Rutland's Corrections crew, and the U.S. Forest Service. So, as you might be able to see, this is one of the few and all the way enclosed shelters. You can even see a couple windows. We are going to pop in and take a look. I haven't been in just yet myself, but yeah, let's go ahead and see what we got. So you got to slide it, you got to close the door and turn off the lights. Well, good thing they turned off the lights. Wow, look at this joint. Man, this is a cool shelter. Oh, I wish I was staying here. Look at, dude, they got a wood burning stove in here. Man, oh, and you can, it's like the old school, got the, man, you could cook some good dinner on that. Got the iron top and a chimney stack that goes out. I bet it gets so comfortable in here. Oh my goodness. Inside table. There's that picnic table outside as well. And a beautiful ladder you can climb up. I'm curious to see if there's, yeah, there's even more space up here. Boy, it is warm up here too. I don't know what the temperature is. It's definitely too warm, but man, I bet this would be comfortable in the winter. Man, this shelter is great. So I've seen some pretty cool shelters at this point and shown some cool ones to you, but whew, this one's gonna rival the best of them for sure. Tons of character and just beautiful. I'm sure it's full of mice, but hey, you know, all the shelters are. So there's a little map. This old style stove at spruce shelter, load from the top style. In the cabin there's a special tool, air intake, blah, 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 blah. Just a lot of instructions on how to use the wood burning stove. Man, I'm definitely gonna sign this, book. Who else do we have? See if there's any folks I know. I don't see a lot of folks I know. Yeah, I'm not seeing any other folks I know. Probably going back a little. Geez, someone wrote a whole freaking novel in there. Yeah, I don't see any names I know. The Woods 0. Don't write a book. I don't think you should write a book in a shelter log. Maybe I'll get flamed for that. But I don't feel like you should write a whole freaking dissertation in a shelter log. Just write a little bit, say what you got to say, and move on. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and write something in the log. I already had a snack. I should be like less than 3 miles from where I'm gonna jump off. That's part of the reason I took this 0.2 mile spur over to show you the shelter. But yeah, I'm not gonna take a snack. I'm gonna write in the log and then we'll keep moving. All right. All right, folks, 69.6 degrees at 3:53 p.m. and I'm just making it to Vermont Route 1130. There it is. So I was texting Jason some earlier. Looks like he's still probably a couple hours out from arriving. So whatever, I mean, I always have stuff I can be doing in the meantime. What that stuff looks like right now is finding a good place to stick my thumb out and hoping I can get to town with someone. And then we'll kind of take it from there. All right, so I'll check back with you all a little later. All right, y'all, 4:11, and Sherry's just dropping me at the chalet. Thank you, Sherry.
Yay, you're welcome. And Tucker's in the back seat. Tucker.
Oh, and Tucker, I can't.
Come here, Tucker.
Tucker, come up here. Friendly puppy. Yes, there you go.
Well, have fun.
All right. Yes, thank you so much, Sherry. Really appreciate it. All right, folks, all checked in over here at the Chalet Motel. Very old school kind of design with the swimming pool right next to the busy road right up front. It's a bit of a compound, I guess, because you gotta cross this state route 1130 to get over to another building where my room is. One cool thing though is that there's this joint here, Raven's Den, steakhouse and tap room, steak, salad bar, seafood, spirits, all that. That sounds pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and get to the room. I'll be right back to show you the initial walk into the room. And then I gotta get cleaned up, get my laundry together, and then I think the motel does a $10 shuttle to bring you down to town where both the grocery store and laundry is. And I'd be hoping, $10 is a bit steep to go like 4 miles or whatever, 3 miles or whatever it is, 2 miles, I don't even know. However far it is, I'm sure it's not far, and I'm sure that's too much to go that far. But I might pay it one way and then hope that Jason gets here, and at least that way I'm only paying $10 once rather than $10 twice. But yeah, anyways, across the street, that's my building. and let's go get to the room. All right, here we are, room 137. Tap against. Luxurious. Actually, honestly, it's pretty spacious for a motel, I'd say. Got the 2 beds, so I'll take one. Jason will take the other tonight. I'll just go ahead and claim this one. Whole big expanse of open space there. I wonder if there like used to be a couch or something. That's a little strange. Yeah. Check out the head. Sink. Whole little microwave sink situation. And the bathroom has a tub. Love it. But I think there's also a hot tub across the street back over by the office, so I haven't quite decided, but I'm not usually one to pass up a hot tub, so we'll kind of see how that shakes out. Look at out the back, luxurious back with the sliding door. Super fancy. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and clean up and I'll check back with y'all later.